Yeah, red.
color.
I don't know. Maybe they changed their name. It's hard to keep track, you know.
Mm, yeah. Wait. Let me-
All right, we should be live.
What's the topic?
Slow but deadly.
All right.
All right, Chris is here. Good.
Actually made it on time. Nice.
Yeah.
Yep,
Still have
exactly on time. Just running the music. Let's see.
No. Oof. He left. Sadly. No.
He
Who
did.
left?
No. I remember. He was called Red. He wasn't very active, but he was fine.
I think sometimes people don't realize how to manage the notifications. So it gets distracting when you have a Discord and it keeps notifying you on your phone. Like I turned them off
Yeah.
as soon as I made it.
Imagine
So
a Discord server so powerful that basically it becomes part of your own life and everything else starts falling apart and
everything you
left
crave.
and then all you're left with is spending your Saturdays talking about monsters while
There you go.
playing guitar.
That's the life. Let's see here.
And yet when you give everything to this place owner and when you suggest for John of the Monster, you're not even listening. This
Yes.
life has no meaning.
How could I not listen to that? JMPF won't be here, but he gave me his share already. Just gonna be a fun one. I'm looking forward to it. Let's see. I don't think the music's ever went this long. Not this song. All right, let's pull up everything. Pull up our pants. There we go. All right, here we are. We all set. I see Louis. Louis is
Wow,
actually
yeah,
joining us
24.
today. Greetings, Monster Master, Monster Rights. Greetings, Master Louis. Thank you for sharing when you haven't been here. As you know, I've shared them all on your behalf. Been remembering. All right, let's begin officially. How do I begin? Well, let's start with this. Wait, this is 63, right? Let me double check. Yeah, it is 63. Okay. Greetings, everybody. Greetings, Monsterites. Greetings, anybody that finds us out there in the interwebs.
Hello.
This is the greatest
Yes, it
Monster
is I, Seanock.
podcast in the world. This is Monstercast number 63. We're going to be talking about monsters, as usual. We talk about monsters every Saturday. We're going to be talking about today's topic, which is slow but deadly. So monsters that move very, very slowly, but pose great, enormous danger. No problem, Louis. So today, how's everybody doing? How are you? Let's see, Sid's in the chat. Dio, Jono's a little sick, but he's here. His spirits are going up. He's a true monster, right? How are you, Chris?
I'm doing quite well.
Awesome.
Just finished a D&D session. So
Oh.
that was delightful.
Sweet. How's it going?
That's our session 0, basically.
Okay.
Got introduced to our first employer. And I also managed to score an additional patronage with a lord that's allegedly quite financially endowed, let's put it like that.
Very good.
Finances.
And how's the
Most
DM so
important
far?
things.
What'd you say, Arthur?
How is the DM so far?
It's a mutual friend between me and the cat.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Right on, right on. Pro's over there. Pro, are you in voice as you promised?
Yes, I am.
Holy moly.
Yeah.
How the hell
I
are you,
made it
Pro?
just in time.
Sounding
I'm
great.
doing pretty good. We managed to finish our island house in the forest, so the
Good.
cannibals can't get us.
Because as you know, I was waiting just for you. Just prolonging this minute by minute.
That's a lie.
It's all for you,
That's a
Pro.
lie.
For you and Chris. We also have Sombra here. We don't get Sombra around often in voice. So greetings, Sombra. It's awesome to have you here. I hope you're doing well. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Thanks for asking.
Awesome. Awesome.
I'm not sure how long I'm gonna be able to stay, but I will try my best.
No worries. Do you have anything you wanted to share on behalf of the monster today?
Nothing that I can think of.
Okay. So I will not add you to our list unless you want me to. So you can just stick around and comment whenever.
It's your choice.
Okay. I'll add you in. I'll call you out. If you're not here, then oh well. If you are, then you can just let me know if you found anything or not, if anything came to mind. Alrighty?
All right.
Cool. And then we have C back again for more. How the hell are you, C? Now he's quiet. Now he's quiet. Always talking when he shouldn't be, and when he should be, he's silent. Look at that. Giving us the silent treatment. Well, that's how he is. And you guys all in the text. Text chat. Louie over there on YouTube. Dio. And Sid. Right, that's it so far. How are you guys? You guys doing all right? You ready for this? All right, I'm gonna start adding people to the wheel of torture. So far I got Arthur, I got Giano. Who made the ooh sound?
That was me.
That sounded good. It was almost like a sample, sound sample. How are you? See, you didn't answer me when I asked you. You have to answer that
Sorry, I was
question.
out after my toast. My toast required my attention.
Is that what you call it? Naughty
have
C.
toast, okay.
Naughty C.
You had to make sure that it didn't go toast.
You had to go after his toast, as the kids call it these days. Let's see. We have Dio. Let me add Dio on here.
Oh.
Let's see. Still confused, which is great. As long as I don't confuse myself too early. Okay. Who else? I got Arthur, Jono, Sid, Bro, C, Dio, JMPF. I'll add Louie on here. Anybody else that I missed? Sombra, of course. Anybody else that I missed? And Chris, I missed you.
Hello.
Anybody else? Going once.
I'm just delighted by how well my character is turning out. I'm playing more than
Wonderful.
my character tends to be.
John was going nuts with his Italian
John, what is that?
animation. It's action packed.
What are we laughing at?
John, you idiot.
Nice.
You dumb.
There we go. Everybody except Dum Dum. Okay. Let's get this party going. So we're going to be talking once again about slow but deadly monsters. Everybody's on the wheel of torture. For you guys, or maybe I'll ask this in a little bit when I see more people join on YouTube, since right now I just see Louie on there. I wanted to ask you guys a question since you look at the format that we are on here. Okay, let's begin. Let's spin this wheel. Tell us about a monster that moves very slowly but is very dangerous. Oh, who is this that joined in as well? That is Boggo. Let me add Bog to the wheel of torture. It's a big wheel. You're all tied up to it, naked,
Managed to
of
figure
course.
out what I will talk about.
All right, guys, I'm going to spin it. I'm going to do it. Nobody can stop me. It's spinning. Pro Sid and Jono. Jono, since you are so rambunctious today, you are going first. Tell us about the monster that is slow but very deadly in your mind book.
Okay. Um, it's I don't know if you can. Okay, you can count him as a monster because he dies and yet comes back to life. I'm not talking about Jesus. I'm of course talking about our bro Jason Voorhees from the Friday the 13th series.
Mm-hmm.
He is slow. He basically walks, and yet all the time he manages to get behind or even in front of their victims. I know it's just from poor choices of movie making, but I can't but love this character. I loved him probably even since before Godzilla. I am talking about like when I was 11
Nice.
or 12. So yeah, he is a favorite of mine.
A 12-year-old who
Jason.
loved
Yeah.
concern.
Makes sense. Well, so I'm wondering, have we ever seen Jason run in a movie? In any
Not
movie?
that I reckon. Not adult Jason. Probably. I don't remember. Mm, Probably some scene of him as a kid. Yeah, probably only Kid Jason in Freddy versus Jason. I think there's a flashback from his childhood, and he is seen running away. But yeah, adult Jason, no, he always just walked. They even made fun of this
Right.
in the video game where you have literally the ability to teleport.
Right. I gotta play
Oh wait,
that
he
game.
did run in part two. I'm literally watching like a scene about of it on YouTube. He did, but that was before he became the iconic zombie.
Oh, yeah, probably in part three he chases a girl, like something. I don't remember. I've last watched it like no, like 6 years ago. I watched my last Friday the 13th movie, but
Oh wow.
yeah, well,
Okay.
probably in part three there's a scene where he chases a girl in a barn, and yeah, he probably walks, runs there. I don't remember.
Right. Yeah. Have we seen that much in movies? Yeah, we still see that because the whole point of walking instead of running, it's seeming intimidating, right? It's to
Yeah,
look
just
scary,
look menacing,
like you're
but
so
also because
powerful.
you should. We're still talking about someone or something as the movies go on. I think he weighs at least 150. Um, I don't think he literally has the ability to run, especially after he comes back from the dead. He is basically just a Night of the Living Dead zombie. Just um, no, with the Xenos, it's different because they're they're mostly an ambush predator. But yeah, it's a different creature. I mean, the whole point of Jason is that it's a walking tank. You can't stop it.
Right, right.
Mm.
Yeah, makes sense with him because he's bulky and big.
Yeah.
Has anyone here seen the movie Us lately?
Yeah.
And no.
I had a little
I've
bit.
watched a synopsis.
Okay. I had a little bit of that issue there because they have a girl, right, a daughter. I don't want to spoil things too much, but the bad guys, we'll say, have a daughter there, and she's the runner. She's the fast one. But the other ones don't run at all. They just keep walking when they could run. It's just she's the faster one, you know? So that's, again, unnecessary, and it's just made for the direction, the production. And then I heard a review, Angry Joe's review of the new Grudge movie. And I heard things like that it was really inconsistent. Things would jump scare and then they would run away, and sometimes they had power, sometimes not. I'm going a little bit out of topic here. That's nice. Headshot. I just
Damn,
watched
Arden sucks so
first episode of Witcher yesterday or this morning night. And it was cool. I was impressed with the fighting choreography. That went really very nicely and smooth. And this,
Cinematically, it is pretty good, but if you slow it down, it's kind of painful to watch.
oh really?
Weapons Master Shad did a
Ah,
autopsy of a fight scene on it.
cool. I'll check that out. Nice. But this headshot just reminded me of that because I was looking how he was cutting off heads and stuff, and I was thinking how CGI really improved cutting off heads in movies. So when you compare that to like this, where this is actually still pretty good, but you know you don't see the head leaving the body because it's already fake once it's left. So hey, there's the Polish Witcher, the original series. It's on YouTube, I think. It might even be translated. And I think it shows more of the beginnings. But anyway, so yeah, CGI's done a lot for decapitations because they look so perfect now in movies. Actually, all right. Oh my God, the ending to us was a shocker, man. Great thriller. It was different. I had to rethink it. You know, Louis. It's a movie you can watch definitely twice at least, right? Once you figure out what it is and how much sense it really makes, because that's the problem with it. It's kind of like The Silence, right? They're great ideas, and to make a movie, they have to not be so realistic, because if they'd be too realistic, the movie wouldn't make too much sense sometimes, or it would just have to be a different movie in different situations. So you know. But yeah, okay, moving on. Too long on that. Thank you, Jono, for sharing
No worry.
about Friday the 13th, the slow but deadly monster. Pro, can I click that or not?
It's a spoiler
Spoiler from what?
for us.
Oh, us. Okay. Sorry, I won't click it. Alrighty. Spinning the wheel. I think we're set up. So, Jono, you are the first one free off the wheel since you are sick. I guess that's how fate had it. So you can go get dressed. You haven't suffered too much. Why do I all have you naked on the wheel? Because that's how wheels should work, you know. That's not anything weird about me. That's just when you put people on a wheel, that's what you do. Spinning the wheel. And we got Pro Sid,
John,
Arthur.
that show of yours looks awesome.
Chris. Yeah. And it is Chris. Chris, what is your monster today that's slow but deadly?
What the hell?
Did you hear me, Chris? Okay.
Yes, I heard you. So, I'm going to talk about a monster that is, I hate to admit it, but it is immensely dangerous, deadly. Not many people are going to survive fighting it, and it is slow as absolute balls.
Excellent.
Like, the place where it is from, like, everything else is literally driving at light speed compared to how slow this thing is. I don't know if it's arthritis or lack of grief that causes it, but it is something immensely slow. And I am specifically talking about Necrons from Warhammer 40k.
Haha.
You fucking stole mine!
Nice. Yay.
I'm going to let you join
Rest
me on
in
this one.
peace.
This one is mine too now, because I'm literally the Necron person on the internet. Well, self-proclaimed Necron person. I like my Necrons.
I beat you to it though, so technically I hold the captain's ship in this case.
You start, Chris. What do you want to say about these amazing creatures?
Well, about these grumpy old people made out of shiny stuff. They are used to be an alien race that was sick of cancer, a lot of cancer, because there's the star of their home planet was a radiation pumping out asshole that was also being munched on space vampires, basically. And because
That
a
ain't
bunch of
star vampires.
yes, and because
Important
a bunch
detail.
of fat toads refused to give them free healthcare, like the Necrons, like the these absolute horrible immigrants that they are, decided to rebel, quote unquote, against the system of the beta species and sold themselves to the star eating vampires, who did a lol JK and turned them into spooky robots. And I'm going to let Z handle it from there.
Yeah, okay. Necrons are an ancient race of immortal robots now after they decided to transfer themselves into metal bodies. They are notoriously slow due to the fact that they are made of metal. And they are very mindless, walking in ranks and file. All due honesty, they are basically capable of, what's it called? Taking, how do I say
Moments
this?
with
You just
C.
ruined the intro for me, Chris.
My victory of today is complete.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so C, how about you tell us the truth about the slowness of Necrons?
Well, the thing is that Necrons mostly are slow due to the simple fact that they are lumping. They are slowly walking, as they are mostly as most of their armies consist of great skeleton warriors that are not exactly known for their speed.
Hmm.
However, they are not lacking in the technologies department, however, so they can get places if they want to go
Right.
there, with the simple fact that they have teleportation,
Mm-hmm.
which helps immensely with the fact that they might be slow, but crying out loud, it doesn't matter how slow you are if you can be where you need to be with the help of teleportation.
So see,
So
comparing...
you're saying is that they are literally slow because of arthritis.
Of what is that?
It's a sickness in the bones that old people have. It makes them slow.
No, it's not that. They don't have arthritis. It's made of metal.
So
It's
see,
space metal arthritis.
comparing with on the tabletop, when you compare them, let's say a regular, your basic unit of Necrons compared to a basic unit of Space Marines, how different is the speed?
Well, they are basically 1 inch shorter than they are in the movement phase,
Okay,
meaning
1
that
inch.
their movement is reduced with 1 compared to the other races.
Okay, so it's not crazy. It's not half the speed, but it's still relevant.
Yes.
Alrighty. That's kind of a flaw in the design since they're such an advanced thing. I mean, I can
No,
understand
that's the
Terminators being
thing.
slow, but
They have the
This is more
ability
advanced.
to, for all intents and purposes, teleport or move at the speed of light. Every now and then, unfortunately for them, they are not exactly capable of keeping everything under control while that is the case.
alright. Wonderful. Okay, so we'll take that on as on behalf of you, Chris.
Lore-wise, well, yes, they can teleport, which makes them quite fast. But on just walking without any teleportation stuff, they literally move at a snail's crawl in terms of pace.
That is like saying that old Persian moves slow, but it has a mobility scooter to help that.
Yes, that precisely. That
This
is the
guy has a
perfect
skirt.
analogy.
Can't move fast with a skirt. That was one of Idig's Beer's worst models on YouTube. Kind of makes sense. I could see that. Even the silhouette is not impressive. It's not even, doesn't even seem proportioned. Do you have this model, C?
Wow. No, I have not, but I know better artwork of it.
Why don't you have this model? Or do you have an older one of it?
Because they're hecking expensive.
Oh, really? But I thought, yeah, you have a pretty good size army. So,
Yes, but Anrik the Traveler is for other people, so to speak. He is, cheesy, so to speak, compared to rules. He has the
I see.
unique ability to take over enemy vehicles, which is if you brought a knight with 20 shots, you're going to fire those 20 shots into, well, the enemy.
gotcha.
And I'm fairly certain the enemy wouldn't like that, and that is why I call him cheesy.
Louis said, isn't rust metal arthritis? That's to you.
No, rust is an
Chris.
oxidization of the metal, where some of it dissolves.
Yeah. All right, all right.
Crises is a downright destructuring, from my understanding of bone tissue.
Cool. So Necrons and Jason. All right, greetings everyone over on YouTube. We got 5 people watching us. That's nice. I wanted to mention the things at the start of the show, particularly to you guys watching us over on YouTube. You see the screen that you see, that how we have it set up. I was thinking today that the size of the actual screen that is the Discord is somewhat small, right? Or even the web, when we open the web like that, it's somewhat small compared to how much I think space we can utilize. Would you guys like it bigger? Do you think that would be much of an improvement, or doesn't really matter? Do let me know over on YouTube, especially you guys that watch this layout that I've created, because I can certainly make it a little bigger and move things around. Yeah, so let me know what you guys think over on YouTube. Now, segueing from Chris saying that they move as slow as snails, I wanted to shout out. Jutnik said it's fine. Okay, thank you, Jutnik. Scarlet Kingdom. Nice, first time here. Welcome, welcome.
Oh,
I think
friends
it's
of
fine
mine.
as is, personally. Cool, so it wouldn't look too much better if it's bigger. Cool, excellent. Thank you, guys. So I wanted to shout out the creature that we had created here on the Monstercast, I believe.
Oh, go on.
Refresh my memory if I'm wrong, but it was the snail. You know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
The snail that
Hey,
follows
don't
you
remind me.
for until you're dead. It will follow you and stop at nothing, and it will go through anything. Well, we can add that part. And once it gets to you, it's instant death. It moves as slow as a snail. It looks like a
That's
snail.
kind of-
It's as small as a snail. But once it gets to you, you're dead. So that
you
is
couldn't
our
just
shout-out.
squish it with a shovel or something.
No, it's indestructible.
Indestructible. Yes. Wouldn't that be fun to play a game like that? Or have that in your life. Make a deal with a devil that you're granted, $1 million, $5 million. Let's just say $1 million. Because if you say 10 million, then yes, of course you'll do it because you'll just have somebody tracking it. But what if you're just offered $1 million?
For a snail that chases me to death.
Yeah. So you can move anywhere on the planet. You can have it tracked, whatever. But you're
So does that mean I can have a snail defense around my house?
You will never know what's the real.
it's
real
unstoppable. It can be dissuaded, but it can't be stopped. If that makes sense.
I mean, but being stopped by a literal barrier, yes?
Well, you can't destroy it. That's the thing. It is constantly going.
I'm not destroying it. What if we had someone to capture it?
Oh, Sombra's gotta go.
You can capture it, but you don't know.
So this is a conceptual creature more so than a creature.
Yes.
Right, so somebody could actually pick it up and move it closer to you. Yeah. Imagine how many nightmares you would have about this, because you would know, okay, you're in the US and you know the snail was last seen in Africa, but you would constantly have nightmares that it's coming up to you, it's next to you. You'd probably end up going a little bit crazy with paranoia about the snail that's just ever moving. Anyway, that's our little shout out to our Monster
Never
K.
know.
Yep,
You wouldn't ever know which
Oh.
snail it is, so you'd first need to find that.
exactly.
I find this monster to be highly impractical.
Fair enough. Come on, that's what makes it great. And that's all I wanted to mention. So those 2 things. Shout out to that one on behalf of our Monstercast. Now, Sombra needs to go. So, Sombra, do you have a moment, or should I share on behalf of you? Yeah, let me know, Sombra, if you want to get on voice. Okay. I'll share on behalf of Sombra now so his text doesn't get buried. His slow but deadly monster for today is Pumpkinhead from the movie Pumpkinhead. Was it on Slee? I believe so. Again, it's that intimidation factor. I'm sure if they ever redo Pumpkinhead, they will make him faster and much more CGI, as that seems to be the theme of redos. He said, all right, it was nice chatting here with you guys today, but I gotta get going. I can check the messages and stuff, but I really won't be able to use voice. Have a good Saturday on behalf. Cool. Thank you, Sombra, for stopping by and for sharing something. Have a great week and day. So, any thoughts on Pumpkinhead?
Remind me again what Pumpkinhead is.
Anyone? He's a demon.
What
It's all
to
right.
say?
It's okay.
Neat.
I just remember that Pumpkinhead didn't really have a weakness except for one thing. I think the one that created him or something can destroy him. I forgot the details. Can somebody refresh that for me? I know Louis would probably know these things. Chris, do you remember?
No, I don't think I.
Let me Google him real quick. Summons vengeful demon. Yeah, so it's a vengeful demon. But yeah, I forgot that detail of how it can be destroyed. I think it's very powerful in a way that only one thing can kind of destroy it or stop it. It's that kind of situation. So that's Pumpkinhead from the movie. If you've never seen the movie, you got to see it. Because that's one of the horror classics. Everybody sort of knows Pumpkinhead. The Demogorgon figure I made was a mod on the Pumpkinhead figure. That's another image of it. Pumpkinhead demon. He's big, scary. He's maybe over 7 feet tall. That's that. So he's got the same problem as Jason. He's just moved slow. Although with him it could be more anatomical. Well, with Jason it could be something otherworldly too. So. Thanks guys. Now you know. The more you know. So, anybody want to throw it? There we go. Said Louis. Well, hold on. So, I think it's fine personally, John. Monsters, everybody's asking for it. Yes, everybody is John. I say give it a try to see if it works. Bigger would be better. Okay, thank you, Mark. By Sombra, yeah, Pumpkinhead was a demon, was once human. The curse was passed by vengeance curse. Once the curse finished, the person responsible for invocation was possessed and became the new Pumpkinhead. So there you have it, folks. Everybody's pretty quiet about Pumpkinhead. Who has seen Pumpkinhead here? Give me that at least.
I sadly have that.
I love Pumpkinhead.
Okay, Jono has. Chris has.
I'm not. I haven't.
He hasn't. And Pro, what did you say? You certainly haven't?
I haven't.
Okay. All right. Well, it's one of those movies. It's one of those, I believe, early 90s horror flicks that everybody sort of knows. It's not a great movie, but if you're a horror fan and you want to know your movie horror monsters, it's certainly one among the classics. I just want to put that there, that it's one among the classics. So it's not like all these other unknown ones, because, of course, there's tons of horror monsters. Pumpkinhead is among, Freddy, Jason, Chucky, all that. Okay. Thank you, Jono. What do you think? I just had to grab an image quick. Anyway, that's it. Thank you for sharing that, Mr. Sombra. The Sombra. So far we had Necrons, Jason, Pumpkinhead, our Monstercast snail, and now we shall spin the naked bodies. Let's do this. Let's take Sombra off. He's free. He survived. All right, here we go. Spinning. GPF Pro, Sid, Arthur, Bog. Is Bog still here? Bog, can you hear me? Bog. Bog.
Give me a second. I'm in the middle of something.
He's in the middle of something.
Yay,
Can you
Bob.
pass me for now?
Okay, I'll pass you. We will spin it again. Bog wants to remain naked on the wheel. Go figure. Pro Sid. Sid, it's your turn, sir. What do you have for us today that is slow and deadly? Or but deadly? Is slow necessarily always a negative? It gives you time to think over what you want to do and prepare your moves. Maybe that's why Jason's such an efficient killer, because he's slow, so he can think exactly how he's going to slice your head off, and once he gets to you, it's an instant kill. So maybe slow is good sometimes. I feel like I'm talking to myself today. Sid, are you sharing? We're all waiting for you, Sid. If your name is Sid
Dio.
this time. Okay, he's typing. We got 7 people watching. We got quite a few people on YouTube. I think maybe some of you went to check out the format. All right, Sid's typing away. Any more thoughts, guys? Do you think... Jeez, that's a bad image. Thanks, Jono. You're so unhelpful. I think I might have to kick you out so you never get that rank for...
I love that cough laugh.
being... Yeah.
What were you saying, Ar?
Oh, against censorship, Hearth?
Yes.
Right.
What was your question?
My question is slow always
How dare you?
a negative?
Well, when something is slow, it's usually okay. So it's usually something is. There's always like a trade-off with something. Usually, when something's slow, it's usually strong and tough. Or usually, when something's fast, it's not tough and it's kind of weak. So it's
Right.
It's kind of like a give or take. It's
It's a balance, kind of a balancing thing. Right. So in that case, you kind of are saying that usually it's a negative thing, just to balance out.
Yeah, I would say half.
Right.
Well, that's a fascinating creature.
Interesting. All right, Sid's monster is up. It's a cryptid. Being in the cryptid mood today, he says, and its deadliness is in question. Okay. So it is slow, assumingly. It's called the Mapinguari. It's of Brazilian stories. Discovered by the key of immortality thousands of years ago. He angered the gods and was severely... Okay. So it looks like basically like a medieval... not a... What am I trying to say? Prehistoric sloth. In that form. The second form looks a bit different, which is kind of fun. It looks like a mix between a cyclops and Blemmies. The cryptids, the old mythological humanoid creatures that have the mouths on their bodies, on their abdomens. Pretty cool. I could see that maybe slow. The sloth one's certainly slow. Deadly, depending. If we're comparing to people, probably deadly enough. What do you guys think?
Would like to meet that in a dark road.
I guess let me rephrase the question. Do you think the prehistoric sloths, knowing how big they were, do you think they'd be quite deadly to a human?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, like imagine
Assuming that they are not like our modern sloths. Sloths, not sloths.
I remember they were carnivorous.
Yes. I don't think they'll be running after you in the best style of a Tyrannosaurus, but hey,
right.
Still a funny image.
They are equipped.
Remember, just remember, guys, sloths move so slowly that moss grows on them. Just imagine it has its arms like hanging down, and then the moss grows on it, and you're like leaning against it, thinking it's like a tree or something, and then just grabs you.
Beautiful, bro. But I just imagine how awesome it would look. Seeing already a regular sized sloth with moss on it, but now seeing this huge creature with moss growing on it, possibly mushrooms, just looking like a troll. Lovely.
Damn.
And it is equipped. They have good sized claws. And if you take in the idea that they could be territorial or very protective of their young, and considering what other creatures they lived around at that time, there were a lot of predators that could certainly tackle it. So it probably definitely adapted very offensive habits and approaches as well. So if somebody our size were to approach it aggressively, like a velociraptor, then I'm sure it could fend itself to a good degree. I don't think it'd be totally defenseless and just try to walk away. So pretty cool creature. Shout out to Sid. Good job on the finding the cryptid. That's relevant. That's actually a hard thing probably to do, to find a cryptid in this slow but deadly category. So well done on that part or behalf. Monster Sloth for South America. Some versions have a mouth tummy. Yes, now the mouth tummy one looks a little quicker. He looks like he could pounce. Mouth
A
tummy.
bit more like a monkey than a prehistoric sloth, I will admit.
Right. Now it depends how big it is, too. Alrighty. And if we're comparing it to Bigfoot, you never really hear that Bigfoot's slow. You hear him walking, but you always, whenever you hear these tales of Bigfoot, is he's walking quick. Like his strides are like 3 or at least double of a human stride. So wouldn't really go with slow, because it has to be slow comparatively to us, unfortunately, as we are running the show and we are humans still. Apparently, some of us, maybe. Let's continue. So let's spin that wheel. I think we're done on that one. That one's called the Mapinguari. Mapinguari.
How would you spell that?
Bet Arthur makes a vid in the future where he just like, do you know how to support me?
Raid,
Just
shut
download Raid. Is that such a common thing for YouTubers to talk about Raid? Because I heard it twice.
You have no idea, Arthur.
Really?
It's everywhere.
Wow.
Why, when you're going to do it?
When they offer me money? Well,
Fair enough.
I
Granted, they
saw
offer good
the...
money.
I will admit that Raid has, for an app game, it has one of the best ads I've ever seen on Instagram. It's got one of the champions. I don't know anything about the game, but it has, they're like, the monster champions are sitting like in a group like therapy, and he's saying that he never got chosen, and the CGI is really great behind it. And then somebody chooses it on the phone, and it's this big pig guy, this Percadillo, and he jumps up and says, "Oh, they chose me," and he's so lucky. But it's really impressively done for. I mean, a lot of those app games do have impressive ads now, but that one's really cool. Actually, it's really different. So shout out for Raid on that behalf. The rest I don't know. I have been sponsored to advertise a game once on this channel. And I don't know if you guys saw that, and I knew the video wouldn't do well, so it was a nice easy $100, and I didn't really support it, so I kind of just knew I'd more screw them, although not really, because they have a lot of money, these game companies. So I knew I'd make a video that get maybe 500, 800 views. And I told them, okay, I'll do it for $100, and I advertised them in my video. I talked about it for 30 seconds. Some game I got on once and off, because once again, I'm not going to support something unless I play it or hear really good reviews. And from that video, I probably wouldn't make $100, not for a few years. So there you go. So Raid, if you want to do it, $1,000 for any video. I just actually got a. Speaking of that, sorry, I'm going off on a tangent here. I got an email from some company trying to advertise a PC cleaner. Okay? You guys know that those softwares out there that say they'll clean out your viruses and crap, right? Malware.
Oh, I thought you meant like physical, like cleaning, that you clean your
No.
PC with. Oh, no.
That'd be cool, little
If
robot.
it's software, then no.
Right. So it's called I think it's ES Cleaner, easycleaner.com. And then I try to go to the website, and it's warning me that it contains a bunch of viruses. But they said they'll pay me, what was it, $700 to $1,000, right? So I was like, so I got a little intrigued. They looked at my channel and figured, how much a video could be worth. So I looked into that, and then I replied, and I was like, so how do you figure exactly the amount you're going to offer me? Between 700 and 1,000. But I didn't say that clearly. I just asked them, how do you figure the costs? And they said the cost is already decided. How is a cost decided if it's a range? A range is not deciding. A range is an offer between a range. It's not a decision. So I don't think they understood the question. I don't think they're natively English speaking. So that's what they said.
That's not a good sign.
So yeah, and then seeing that, I kind of figured, you know what? I'd have to really check these guys out. And I told them it's not really relevant to my channel, you know. So unless they offer a lot of money, like those shaving commercials or products, etc. I mean, I do appear on the screen, so I can, you know, in a way still advertise this stuff, but it has to be somewhat relevant or really offer me, you know, a good deal, and I have to fit it into some video. I'm not going to make this video that, you know, is going to gain 1 million
I have
views.
10 YouTubers recommend
with
this
a shaving app.
toothpaste. It will not eat your teeth.
I think eventually good advertisers will find us because I think there's a lot of cool products like NECA, you know, NECA the toy lines, video games that could actually work with us and have a relevant audience actually watching their ad. So it's just a matter of time till they find us. For now, it's going to be this crap as far as sponsors, unless I go hunt them down. And on that, let's hunt down the next one to present. Thank you, Sid.
Sponsor me.
JMPFDO. C, it is your turn. Who is slow but deadly in your eyes?
Damn it, John.
What? What? Stop it. No. We should disable the TTS.
I don't actually hear... Oh, I turned it off. I turned off the sound. Right. Jono, turn that off. Or get it out of here.
Once it's in
God.
motion,
Can
it
we
can't
kill them?
stop.
Yes, we're going to kill them.
I'm going to have to get ready to kick Jono for the first time.
No.
Wonderful.
Yes!
Yeah.
So, what were we saying?
Looks like he's losing his Slayer.
No.
C, the question of the day is slow but deadly monster. Unless you take the Necrons.
Oh, yes, of course.
Okay, so what do you have for us?
I think that my original one was taken by that rat of a vermin to Chris, but hey,
Rat vermin.
Chris will be exterminated off podcast, so we'll find out something there.
I literally will not.
I will try.
Sounds hot.
Now, the
I'm
thing
gonna write a
is
fan
that my
fiction
original monster was the Necrons, because they are generally slow, but since Chris took the pleasure and reason for why I got out of bed today, out of my life, I'm going to just go with the Weeping Angels from Doctor Who.
That's a good one. And remember,
No,
the
the
slower the
thing
better
is-
today.
They are not slow per definition. They are immobile at times. Which is basically slow.
They are both
All right,
immobile and
how do I
infinite.
put this? Well, the Weeping Angels are a spectacularly fun kind of creature. They appears as statues holding their hands up to their eyes, so that they appear weeping, as if... Thing is, they are not. They are holding up the hands before their eyes so that they don't see each other. Because if they are seen, they will freeze into stone. And a stone is very hard to kill. Now, it is practically impossible to see it while killing it, and we have never tested if we can kill them without looking, so, you know.
Look at it. So it's turned to a stone and doesn't do anything. Take sledgehammer. Apply sledgehammer. Dead.
Yes. You have the most eloquent of solutions for most things. Now, for those people that doesn't carry a sledgehammer with them during all expeditions into the dark earth, I will dare say that there is very little things that you have that can hurt them. The second you see them, the second they freeze into stone. Meaning that theoretically blind people could kill them, but hey.
So, see, I know we've
We
covered these angels quite a bit here on the Monstercast. When they are in the statue form, in the stone form, are they like really indestructible, or are they just like basic marble or stone? Can you still break them?
I feel like they can be broken, but
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
Now, the thing is, they are not killing you instantly when they touch you. They're not snapping your neck or just simply removing your spleen or forcing you to live without it. No. They're feeding upon the potential energies of your life, meaning that it will send you back approximately for the rest of back in time equal to your remaining life in the and it will feed upon the time energies and that. Num 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 num.
Now are they technically slow?
Technically, yes.
Because
Technically, no.
when you're
They are
looking at
very
them, they
fast
don't
when
move.
they're not being looked at.
Right.
Thing is, the way they kill you is that they are not going. That they send you back in time, so you will never be able to live out your life.
Beautiful. So, but when you're looking at them, they don't move at all, right? It's like Toy Story. When you're looking at them, they can't move.
Basically.
But when you turn around,
that rule is
they
broken.
move. But they move incredibly
Basically.
fast, correct?
Yes.
So actually, that's the opposite.
I would say that it is the way they kill you that they is so what's it called? Slow. Because they don't actually
Toy
just
Story,
snap
that's
your
my
neck, they
favorite
make you
story.
live out your life in another time.
I see. Interesting. What do you guys
And
think?
because Chris ruined my perfect plans,
Plan.
I'm going
Destroying
to
the
freaking
world.
murder him.
Thank you, Gerda, for subscribing, by the way. Huge thank you. So what do you guys think? Are the Weeping Angels incredibly fast or incredibly slow?
Considering that you can be in one end of the room, the statue can be in the opposite, and if you blink, you're already dead. They are technically quite fast.
Yeah.
You just can't
I'm
have
with
let
Chris
me
on
have
this one.
anything today, can you?
I think it still works for today. Thank you, C. I'm not trying to go against that, but I think that they are, incredibly. They should go into the incredibly fast category. Are they that fast though that in the blink of an eye they move? Because
Yes.
aren't in the series like if you just watch them they won't kill you even if you blink or?
Let me find. There's a
I need to watch it.
scene where they do this. It's blink. Let me just find the exact scene.
Okay.
It shows you how it is. Who don't blink?
Don't blink. Should make a movie with Weeping Angels called Don't Blink. Crappy title for a great monster and story.
Well, it is the name of the episode called Blink.
Oh, okay, cool. So that'll be easy for me to find. I figure I should check that one out. Who was Doctor Who in that one? Which Doctor
is
Who
Tennant.
was it? Can you show me a picture of him?
Tennant? Don't tell me you don't know David Tennant is.
I will act like Chris on behalf of that question.
I am
You
looking
sounded
for
so
the scene. You can
disgusted.
ignore me until then.
David Tennant, looking him up, and oh yes, him. I just watched him in Omens on Amazon Prime, where he acts as the demon.
Any good monsters in there?
Did you see that show?
No, but are there any good monsters?
Oh, are there? Were there? There's a few. There's a few.
Are
There's
they
a pretty
worth
cool
watching
Kraken.
the show?
It's. I'd say check it out. I don't think for me it was the high standard of shows. I'd say it's also for the younger viewers. I'd say because it's still adult, because adult language and such. So it's the young adult. I'd say genre more.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? Have you guys seen Omens?
No.
They have
I
great
haven't.
advertising for it. It's a cool idea. It's just the story presenting is not too much my thing. There's a lot of things going on, and you have to get invested sort of with every character. But not just that. Then there's other little things that make it, like I said, a little bit more for the younger adults than mid or older. But yeah, look at that design. It's got great design and advertising. And yeah, it has David Tennant. And yes, I did see him as Doctor Who. That's one of the... I've watched 2 seasons, not full, of Doctor Who, and he was in one of them. So, I guess... So, is he a good one? Is he a good Doctor Who? Do you guys approve of him?
He was probably. I think he's the favorite of many.
Okay.
He was also the second Doctor most people were introduced to.
Cool.
Yeah, David Tennant is personally my favorite.
Got it.
Okay, I found the scene. So,
Okay.
Here it is. It's basically within the first 1 minute and 30 seconds. But if you don't want to watch the full scene, you can skip to 1 minute and 15 seconds and then just wait and watch.
Weird. It says video is unavailable. That's weird. Are you guys getting that on Discord? I have to go to YouTube.
What would that do?
Okay, let's see. You said at what timing, Chris?
If you don't want to watch the full thing, skip to 1 minute and 15 seconds.
1 minute
And then
15.
just wait.
And you guys on YouTube, see, this is part of the reason why I was asking if I should enlarge the screen. So we're at 1 minute here. He's staring at it. Damn it, I have to check this episode out.
Yeah, this is one Doctor Who is actually good.
He's still staring at it. She's running around. He's still staring. He didn't blink yet. Okay, we have to confirm the blink. That's what we're doing. We're doing research.
He looks
Gentlemen.
away, not blink, but
Oh, I see. Let's see how fast. Thanks for preparing us for the scary bit. That was annoying. Never do that when you make a video, please. And that was pretty cool. So that was pretty quick.
Oh, yeah.
And
But
he
that
is trying not
how
to blink.
fast.
And the episode is called Blink. Okay, so that is
The
It's much
episode's called
research.
Don't blink, actually.
Don't Blink. Okay. It's as much research as we need. If you blink, they move really fast.
Episode 7. I think it's episode 7 of season 3.
So you'd
As
have to blink
Martha's,
really quick.
There's
Or
also
alternatively, what you can do to count them, just blink with one eye, wait until your open
Yeah.
eye is
That
tired,
works too.
open the eye, and close the tired eye.
Yep, that can work. It's just we're so used to the habit of blinking that's still tricky.
I've actually practiced this. This is one of the monsters that scares the shit out of me the most.
So Chris has been
Same.
preparing
I
for it.
practiced this.
Nice.
I mean, I wonder if it counts as having poor eyesight.
That is pretty
That is
cool.
why I also keep my power tool under my bed. If I ever see
Good.
one of those, I just take out the power tool and just drill into its eyes and head. Because fuck
You,
it.
you think that's going to save you?
So
When
keep
I
a
look
safe
away, It
distance
turns to flesh, and
without
flesh with a
obstructions.
drilled hole in your eyes or head is not particularly good.
All right, I'm closing this. I don't want to spoil too much for myself. I'll have to check it out. They did that one right. Loved seeing that 10 out of 10 Easter egg. Weeping Angels. Oh, nice. In Witcher 3. So anyway, cool. I'd say keep a safe distance, some meters away from it. Then you can still blink like that guy moved his head, but they will move very quick toward you. So it has to be quick, run back more. But like Chris said, one eye at a time.
I'll try. I feel like I have closest.
Very cool. So anyway, I've said it before because I didn't get into Doctor Who or didn't even check it out what that is until just a couple years ago. And I will say it again, the writing that those episodes have are better than the majority of the movies that come out in the movie theaters. I was impressed with the whole turning of the story and how in-depth and creative it was, just like these Weeping Angels. So shout out to Doctor Who. Now I understand why it had such a following. It's kind of like Star Trek. Alrighty.
Doctor Who, basically, if you're going to watch the Doctor Who, watch the original series, and then in the new series, watch it until season 7, I believe, is the last season with Matt Smith. You can also check out the first season
Capaldi?
with Peter Capaldi, but after that, it's just becomes garbage. So don't.
I mean,
Gotcha.
the second season with Capaldi was more about Clara than it was about Capaldi. Poor man.
Yeah.
Awesome. 8 people watching us. Thank you, guys. Now I found your 2-headed dog. Oh, that video. You found that. Amazing. Since YouTube's not going to push that video because it's not family friendly. And YouTube wants to make ads. Remember, guys, YouTube says that if your video is not YouTube friendly with all ads, that it still won't affect your viewing.
No way. They made
Which is
Weeping
such
Angels
bullshit.
Witcher 3?
So it's such
What do you
bullshit
mean?
because I have a video that... Go ahead, Curse. I had a video that was doing awesome, and then it was deemed not adult friendly, and suddenly its views dropped. That's opposite of what YouTube says, and I have total proof of that and everything. So anyway, that video with the two-headed dogs. If you guys haven't seen that video, C and Chris, that I made a few weeks ago about the two-headed dog experiment and all that, do check it out because I find it rather fascinating. Hence, I made that. But yeah, I'm just surprised you found that, Gerda, and that's how you found the channel. So that's good. That's good because obviously not many people will. It only has a little over 1,000 views. Pokesaurus, welcome. And Rita Miller, welcome back. Second time I've seen you here, I think. He needs to trade in the sonic screwdriver for tape to keep his eyes open. Right. The Weeping Angels were what I picked originally, but to me they moved too quickly. Right, so Louis. It's an interesting topic, for sure. No worries. Still a good one.
I am not apologizing.
Continuing. Let's spin that wheel. I think I took everybody. No, I didn't take Sid off yet. Let's take Sid off. Z's off. All right, we're going to spin this wheel of naked, weird-looking creatures. Pro Arthur. Wait, that means I'm spinning myself naked. Wow. Now we're talking. Okay. Louis' turn. I'm going to read. Louis already shared above, so I'm scrolling up on YouTube to read what he said. He's talking about my slow-moving monster today is the oil slick blob from Creepshow 2. It was an oil... Oh, yes, in the lake. Yes. It was an oil slick-looking creature that will devour any living thing that came near the lake it lived in. Not much more info.
Bro.
Do you guys know what he's talking about?
I'm gonna try to.
No.
So what it was is, and it's wonderful because Donde, one of our members here, he's also doing the Monster Challenge, which is ending very soon for this month. That's an art challenge that we do here that he does, kind of a fun thing. You guys can always join that. In one of his comics, he has a thing very inspired by that Creepshow lake creature. So basically what it is, it's hard to say if it's alive or not. It's alive because it's moving, but it looks like oil on the water almost, and it just disintegrates life. Once you fall into it, it's like acid. You're just bones and meat, and it just eats you up, and it lives in this lake. So that's what it is. And it does move very slowly, so you can quickly swim out and away from it, but it's still, it's hard to see it because it's liquid form in water, so you can figure how creepy it could be. Any thoughts?
Nice.
Oil-like blob-looking thing.
Pretty cool.
There we go. He needs to blah blah originally, but they... Okay, good. I'm all caught up. That's one of the main things I remember from Creepshow. I always remember the Indian statue guy at the store and that water thing, and then I always forget what the third one was in that movie episode. What was it, Sid? Let's spin the next person to go. Thank you, Louis. Nice throwback on that one. This is fun. I love that you guys can always... Basically, every Monstercast is a challenge. We come up with a topic, and you guys have to find the coolest monster in that topic. It basically is a challenge, and that's what's so fun is you mention something like slow but deadly, you just don't know what to expect, and you guys always come up with something cool. You can watch it on YouTube. Is it on YouTube? Nice. Okay, it's Dio's turn. Let me see what you guys said. There were a couple. Nobody. John. Right. That's John always pulling at your heartstrings. Oh, guys. Help me out here. Get me on the bed. When are John the Ham monsters? Cool. Dio's getting ready. Something that's slow but deadly, Dio. Let's see if it's going to be from an anime. Too bad Darth's not here. You would find something that's an SCP. Pretty much we always get a monster either from, or always get a monster from Warhammer, one from some anime, and one from an SCP, usually a cryptid as well on these shows. So let's see. One involves Stephen King idea of moving moss from space that kills. Huh. I haven't seen that one, Sid. Dio says.
I think that's a comic.
Right. Yeah. And then you got that artist that... Oh, never mind. That's not the artist. There's an artist in the U.S., I think, that makes all these zoo or animals with elongated legs like that. Yeah. It's big. Gonna talk about Zunisha from the anime One Piece. He's a giant monstrous elephant with no eyes. Love it already. And he is from an anime. Good job, Dio. And very long legs. He has an island. Okay, so at least he's not the funny like meme of Godzilla having really long legs underwater. He has an island on his back and only shows himself rarely. But when he comes out, stuff gets real. Like he crushed a lot of ships with his trunk like nothing because he's so gigantic. He got no powers. Dio's talking street talk now. He got no powers. Or something just uses brute force and also like his sound. Okay, cool. So for today's talk, he is on the edge of being slow. Because I did say relatively to us. Hence Godzilla's slow usually compared to other kaijus, but not compared to us. He'd be still really fast. So this creature would be, midway there between slow and fast, I would say. But it has to be slow enough since it has an island on its back, which is freaking cool. Love creatures with cityscapes and land on their backs because they're so big. And Jono's crying again. Wonderful. So, always with the crying. Oh, that's not a tear. It's just a face.
Those are just onions, Arthur.
Just onions. So, any thoughts, guys? Anybody heard of a Zunisha?
I haven't because
Oh,
I stopped
heck.
watching One Piece at
There's
the
not
end
that
of the
much.
Christmas arc.
Okay.
There's not that much else to talk about besides.
I don't know. One Piece always put me off with its anatomy, I dare say.
I see. With its
Reminds
anatomy.
me of the elephants from the Lord of the Rings.
Oh, by lack of.
Right. Yeah, those are cool, bro. I like the overall design. I'd have to see the long legs done pleasingly, because that could look ridiculous. But I could definitely see that work. I do like the no eyes and it being an elephant. I just like the elephant theme within monsters. I really do. Within gods, like the Indian, forgot how to say it, Hindu? Yeah. The Hindu god. I just love,
Ganesha.
the elephant form in mythology.
Yeah, there's Ganesha.
Hence the name Zunisha. Thank you, Dio. I like that one. That one's very cool. I'm glad I never know about it. An eyeless, huge elephant. I love it. It's like the world turtle. Or the big turtle from Neverending Story. Huzzah! Shout out to that. With land on its
Or
back.
the turtle from It.
Right, the world turtle.
That's not a monster, though.
Depends which one. Okay. Any other thoughts? Mark Peters said, slow but deadly. What about Grim Reaper? Unavoidable, pretty damn sure, and it takes a lifetime. Right, most of the time. Nice.
Clever.
Yeah, you never see the Grim Reaper chase you and run. he's beyond
I
chasing and
mean,
running.
I mean,
You
sometimes if
say
you die alone
that-
in your house after he kills, he may just stick around, watch some TV maybe, or
The
just
Sims.
Nice. I need some
Or
pizza.
join your rock
I
band.
mean, y'all say
There you go.
slow, but you remember in DC where death was a speed.
Oh yeah,
we all-
DC.
we all gotta remember to not fear the rain.
Wait, how was death
Some
in
band
DC?
used to say.
Oh no, from DC, there's a Flash version of Death.
Oh, goodness. No wonder
Doesn't
I-
Marvel also have their version of Death?
Probably.
Yeah.
That was an impersonation.
Sid says elephants are like today's slow monsters. They can take you out, but they're happy with a peanut butter sandwich. Yeah, somewhat. Although
Elephants are
they're not really
scary.
slow. If you're encountering an elephant, it could outrun you. It's possible. It's like bears. They're quadrupeds. Never underestimate the speed of a quadruped. One of the number one rules in nature. I think that's rule number.
They can easily
10.
run over 40 miles per hour, if I remember correctly.
Hmm.
So there you go.
I do believe it's that the four legs is what gives speed boost. Humans can have a endurance boost.
Yeah, it makes sense, right? Because there's less energy consumption. For
Yeah,
sure.
half of our walk cycle is just letting gravity do most of the work.
Yeah, you could say that. Alrighty. Especially some of us out there. Let's spin that wheel. Thank you, Dio. That was a good one. I didn't take you off yet, but it's my turn. I'll take myself off. Good, I'm still alive. Dio's off. It's still Pro and Bago seem to enjoy the wheel a little bit more than is healthy. But let's see. So mine, I did want to share one. I did shout out the never.
Ending story.
I don't know, the ever-chasing snail that's indestructible that can kill you, the Monstercast monster. But here's one that I wanted to shout out. From Pierce Anthony novels, there's Xanth novels. I've mentioned them before. There's no image of this, believe it or not, online. I thought somebody would have taken a pic from the book. But I have a book here. Pierce Anthony is an author living in Florida. Still living. He's almost gone. But he wrote a lot of fantasy books. One of my favorites, or one of the best known, are his Xanth novels, The Land of Xanth, where everybody is born with a certain talent, like a magical talent. You have one, and everybody in that land has one. And then Mundania also exists.
I've been meaning to read that.
Oh, they rock. Mundania exists across a border. Once you cross this border into Mundania, it's basically regular life as we know it. And it progresses at our speed. So it's like nowadays it's technology, it's cell phones, all that crap. But when you go back into Xanth, it's back to medieval fantasy. So sometimes they cross between worlds and it's really fascinating. Anyway, the creature from the Xanth world are called Wiggles. Don't confuse them with shite out there. And here they are. Here's a silhouette, if you're looking on YouTube. They're basically worms that go through the air or ground, whatever. They just go. They just move forward. They move forward in the corkscrew kind of fashion. So always in a circular, instead of just straight like a laser, they work like a laser, but they don't move straight like a laser. They move in this corkscrew type fashion. Here are some more images. I hope that's clear enough since my camera image is so small, but there you go. They look harmless. You look at their faces and their mouths, they look pretty harmless, like regular worms. But that's the problem with them. Now, as far as speed, first of all, I don't think they're that incredibly slow, but they're not really fast. They're comparative to their size, and they're as big as worms, right? Like an earthworm. Let's say 10 centimeters long. So they're moving at that speed relevant to that size of a creature. So it's still somewhat slow to us, especially for a worm. But again, they move in a corkscrew fashion, and once they are born out of their nest, they choose or just start moving in a random direction, and then for rest of their lives, they move straight in that direction. Whether it's going up to space, whether it's going horizontally down, no matter which way. They just move forward tirelessly, endlessly. And it's a really cool little monster. That's why I love the Xanth novels, because they have monsters based on puns. There's a lot of puns in the book, so if you love puns, You'd love these novels. There's Pervertity. That's what attracted me to him when I was younger, too. I got into novels probably at the end of middle school. But just
Talk about
the manticore on the cover, that's what honestly attracted me to the book, Spell for Chameleon. So in one of the novels, there's actually an infestation. So sometimes these infestations happen where these wiggles just end up being in one area in swarms, just way too many of them. And you can imagine how big of an issue that is. So in the novel, like all the creatures, like these giants, there's an invisible giant that lives on the land too. Imagine that, an invisible giant. and all these there's a ground whale creature, all these creatures of Xanth like team up, which is rare, but team up together to battle these wiggles because they're just, happen to be an infestation, and as naturally, that would happen. They just started crisscrossing each other in one area, and it just started destroying everything, trees, people, creatures of all sorts. Because once they go through, they're unstoppable. They can go through metal, steel, stone, water, everything. So it's like that snail idea and that's what reminded me of them, because I was thinking about that snail idea to mention that today, and then I remembered the wiggles that stop at nothing. They're basically a living laser.
Nice.
Well, that's terrifying.
It is. I would imagine how paranoid, again, that could make you living in a land knowing that these creatures exist, and any time it could go through your house, through you as you're sleeping and such. Of course, it's a small hole going through your body, and it very well could be deadly, especially going through your brain, but the death still could be prevented if one goes through you, unless it's your brain, again. So...
I can think of a great many things that I wouldn't like having anything go through. Mind you.
Right. And I would say they're about as big as an earthworm. So 10 centimeters across, maybe half a centimeter thick at its thickest point. So yeah. Fun.
Yay.
Wiggles. The cool wiggles out there.
Mhm.
Anyway, what do you guys think of that? Would you enjoy that?
Those are
Terrifying.
Those are spectacular.
It's cool because it's such an innocent creature that just unknowingly creates this devastation, but there's nothing inherently evil about it. It just goes about its way, You're just getting in its way. That's what, if you live in a land like that, they should have a team of scientists or something, researchers, always looking out for nests and such, and then, documenting every wiggle that spawns and which direction it's moving, so people can move out of its way, and it can be reported in the news. Oh, there's going to be a wiggle coming through at this time, at this area. Make sure you guys get out of the way, move out your products, everything. And people just have to adapt to this crazy thing. Of course, they can be destroyed, unlike our snail, which is superior in that way, is that our snail cannot be destroyed. But the wiggles are superior in that they can go through anything. So, balance. As Pro talked about balance earlier with slow and deadly. And back to that, let's go on to the next person. Let's see. Ganesh, someone needs to kill that show with fire. So do the wiggle worms kill? Well, they kill by just going through you. They kill flora by going through it, creatures by going through it, especially if there's an infestation and too many appear in one area, then you can imagine creatures coming out with tons of holes going through their bodies, right? So you can't heal them in time. And that's the scary thing about an infestation. That was a cool part of the novel because it brought in so many of the creatures, and being a monster lover, that was cool to see. That's one of the first time I think I learned about the giant, the invisible giant, where you just know that it appeared because you feel the earthquake and see footprints. The land whale, things like that. That was cool. Alrighty. Spinning that wheel. We have Pro, JMPF, and Bog left. If you guys want to share on YouTube, please share your slow but deadly monster anytime. Today, guys, by the way, huzzah to everybody here. We haven't had our highest amount of people on Discord. We've had more in the past, but we did hit a record today of people watching us on YouTube. Whether it's you guys or not, from here, your doppelgangers. We did hit 8, which is a lot, actually, on this channel and on these Monstercast casts. So there you go, guys. You have viewers, even if it's yourselves. Viewing yourselves. Which is okay, because I spin myself on a wheel.
I love to watch myself.
All right, spinning these freaks on this wheel. It's JMPF.
Spin me fast.
I feel JMPF was the only one that didn't want to remain on the wheel naked, unlike Bago and Pro. Okay, on behalf, I didn't copy his text. Let me copy this over real quick. JMPF shared privately with me. It's from Greek mythology, featured in stories like the Odyssey. Here is his text write-up. Hi, I'll be busy, but here's my monster for the Monstercast. The sea monster Charybdis was believed to live under a small rock on one side of a narrow channel. Nice, I didn't know that. 3 times a day, Charybdis swallowed a huge amount of water before belching it back out again, creating large whirlpools capable of dragging a ship underwater. Trying to figure out the logic here. The theoretical size of a Charybdis remains unknown, yet in order to consume Greek ships, the whirlpool can be estimated at about 23 meters or 75 feet across. At least, I'd say. Here are a couple images. I know this is featured in... What's that Greek movie with the boy? That should be a man, but he's a boy. Percy Jackson. That's the way to describe it. Greek fantasy movie with the boy supposed to be a man. Okay, so I believe there's a Charybdis in the third one, the same one that has the manticore. I haven't watched that movie, but I know there's a huge whirlpool in that movie. So I'm assuming that's this, since it's mentioned in the Odyssey. I want to see an image of the creature itself. Let's see what we can Google out. All right, guys. Come with me on the journey on the internet. Let's see. Oh, we do have some conceptions. Ooh. Oh. So it swallows water and spits it back out. That's how it creates these whirlpools. And I guess it would move slow. I guess that would count as a slow creature. Do you guys think it's slow?
It sounds 3 times a day is, well, kind of terrifying in all honesty. But would that be the exact same time every 3 days?
Right. Deep questions. What confused me was at the start it said that it was believed to live under a small rock. What does that mean?
On that rock was a fig tree. So if you ever got stranded on top of that, there was no way you could escape, but you'd be able to eat and live out the rest of your life stuck right above this massive monster. You know what I mean?
Well, but why does it say that it lived under a small rock? I mean, obviously this creature is rather big. Is there something missed in translation?
That's all that was poking out above water.
Oh, I see. Okay, I get you.
A little rocky crag.
Right. So it doesn't mean the whole creature.
Tree and a little bit of grass.
Okay, gotcha. So it doesn't mean the whole creature belonged under the rock. It was just underneath it, but not in full form under the rock. Okay. So, I'd like to see.
Little fucker that just sucks all of the stuff into its tiny little.
Yeah. Right. That's scary. That goes to our topic of tiny but deadly. Alrighty, I'd like to see more write-ups. I wonder if there's anything mentioned. I'd have to do some research. That'd have to be an all-about video. But on the
Tiny but deadly. It sounds like my mom.
but on the description of the actual Charybdis and what it looked like, let's see. Mythology explained. Somebody did a video, whatever. Yeah, we'd have to check that out. I wonder if it has a description or if it is a worm. It looks like it probably was a worm, but I have to double check if that's the initial descriptions of it in the original manuscripts. Manuscripts sounds deep, so never refer to a book you like as a book. It's got to be a manuscript. There we go. John Adrian into me and intellectual Italian archer. Okay. Not sure they're pro, sorry. Maybe I'm distracted. Thank you for sharing that, JMPF. Any thoughts, guys, on the whirlpool monster known as Triptids?
I don't like the ocean.
Haha. You're so opposite, Jono, yet you're so alike. It's beautiful. It's almost like Chris and C. They're so different, yet so the same. Same with Jono and Pro. It's beautiful. Such yin and
I don't know.
So, when I first read the name, I remembered what that is, but I always confuse it with Cherubi, right? Cherubs? Cherubs.
Cherubies.
Not Cherubi. Cherubi is a lady at work. She was named after
Herbie.
cherubs. Cherubs, those naked babies that fly. Never was a fan of that.
One of the creepiest things in 40k for me.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know why the hell 40k added cherubs, but 40k does. They're not always doing the right thing, for sure. Or Games Workshop.
I don't think 40k has done any good things, really, but made an interesting universe.
Yep. I don't know why the hell would they make. Well, the cherubs were there for a long time, so it's not a new thing.
Angels with tiny anti-grav features.
Yeah.
Oh no. Why wouldn't you want one of those? Must be popular or something.
I think they got some twisted pedophilic things that developed into them. They are very religious. Not saying that all religions have pedophiles, but they have
That's
strong
the
doctrines.
logic right there, Arthur.
I think I'll make a video about how the Space Marines
Kind of worms we're opening here.
and the Emperor are pedophiles. I think I'll do a video like that, and I think the cherubs are.
The Emperor is all that is basically good about humanity. He very much so. He tried to eradicate all religion, but as with because he got put on life support and can't speak to anyone, people in power decided to form their own bullshit.
And again, I remember in my older Warhammer rulebook, I forgot what edition, maybe third, they already had the cherubs in the artwork, I believe.
Had the cherubs
So
since the
they've been
second
there,
edition, I think.
right, a long
Maybe
time,
in
so
the
it's not a new
first.
thing. Yeah, it's pretty kooky. I'd have to see a all about video about how these cherubs make sense in the Warhammer world, but I don't know if it's worth it. And I'm curious, though. I'm sure somebody made a video about it. I'm sure.
Fat-grown babies. We have the Arch Warhammer. We can always refer to. I think he has a servitor video. It's a servitor. Don't be wrong. It's a
he plays bad games.
fat-grown baby. Meaning that it's not a real baby. It's just a fat-grown one.
Who is this he you guys are talking about? Pro and Jono. He plays bad games. Are you talking about each other, or I don't know what you're talking about?
Smack talking each other.
You guys are too distracted though, so I'm probably gonna roll Pro on here. Let's see.
Pro.
You're gonna be Bago's gonna wait. Pro, your name has changed to JMPF. All right. Let's see who really
JMPF
enjoys being
all
naked
along.
on the wheel. Of course, Bago does. He enjoys being naked on the wheel. No, Pro does, because Bago
I
just
don't.
got. Yes, you do, Pro. You're sick.
No.
You like being on there.
Big
You like
bro,
getting
bro,
splinters
bro.
from the wood.
How could you do?
No, okay, I'm not going further. Alrighty, Bago, it's your turn. Are you ready now?
Yay.
Of course I'm not, but I'll.
Scylla, Medusa, and Arachnus.
So I have two different ones that I was thinking, and I cannot decide between the two. So I'll give you a brief synopsis. First is SCP. No. Okay, it is 835, not 853. SCP-835. It's basically a giant mass of coral that grows slowly and just sits there for the most. It will somewhat move itself and lash out with these red tentacle-like tongues if it goes too long without. And it basically carries an incredibly infectious virus that if it comes in contact with a human being, it'll make them basically become another one of it or get added to its map.
Nice, so it assimilates.
Sid,
Are you hearing double?
A bit.
I was wondering that too. That's why I stopped talking.
it's fixed now.
What happened?
The other one is the false Hydra. I think that came up in Monstercast a little while back, though, so I didn't know if you guys wanted to hear all about it.
False Hydra, you said?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, you can tell us about it. I don't remember anything about it.
It's a creature that springs into existence because of the misdeeds of and ugliness of humanity. So it usually pops into existence underneath us. At first, it's just like this little worm. And then it'll be way deep beneath this city. And it'll slowly crawl up eating worms and stuff. Gradually getting to eating stuff like moles and rats in the sewers. Until finally, it pops its head up through some crack or sewer grate or something. And then it begins to sing. That may not sound so scary, but its song basically allows it to go unnoticed by most folks. It'll just basically divert your attention, and so it can be right in front of you, and you could trip over its neck, and you could just be like, "Ah, I tripped over myself again, dag." And then, it'll start grabbing people and pulling them down beneath the ground to feed upon them. Now, often the holes that it originally has to pull people down through obviously aren't made for humans to go through, so you get folded up as you get pulled down through the stuff. And then finally, when it actually bothers to feed, it'll stop singing. And people will feel like something that they hadn't noticed before just stopped there for a second, like they heard a little humming tune or something. Just a presence is gone temporarily. And every time it eats a person, it erases the memory of their existence completely and grows a new head.
This morning and my mama was gone.
No, you see, like, say that it ate the president. We would just be like, we'd completely forget about him and just be like, so, why isn't there a president yet? I don't know, it's just been like that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Looks like this creature is the creation of a homebrew for D&D. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay. Now, are the faces, are the heads of the false Hydra, are they humanoid or are they still serpent-like?
They're barely humanoid. It's not as
Okay.
much a serpent-like as an
I would like to see
aberration
this
of a
monster in
worm.
an actual production of some kind.
Well, this miniature I posted, does that look somewhat accurate to you, Bago?
I can't see it because I'm doing something else right now.
Mm-hmm.
But if it looks horribly twisted, vaguely worm-like, slimy, and all in all absolutely disturbing, then yeah, you probably got it right.
Cool. So, see?
I mean, you probably didn't miss that far.
I think that's what it looks like. See? So, fits the description.
It's like a writhing mass of tentacles and disgusting heads.
Sounds like a Japanese yokai. It actually looks like a Japanese yokai. It's interesting to have something so creepy in D&D. Usually you have these more, well, non-creepy kind of creatures. So that's kind of nice. And the first creature you mentioned, the SCP, was basically a coral with a long tendril of a tongue. Is that correct?
It has multiple tendril-like tongues. It's incredibly strong and it's infective.
Nice. I could definitely see that in D&D as well. Well, I could see everything in D&D.
Also on the inside of its belly, there's faces of every person that it has ever eaten, wailing and...
Oh, that's
Beautiful.
That's nice.
It's got tattoos.
Lovely.
Very cool.
They're
Very
like
nice
the
creature.
literal faces on the inside of its.
Louis said, me likey. Raincrawler said, hello, guys. Hey, Raincrawler. Good to see you. It's been a while. Hello, Rain. Hello, Louis. Many folks, for some reason, keep putting the pic from The Legend of Zelda from the false Hydra. Oh, I see. So there's one in Zelda as well. All right, guys. And now, what we've all been waiting for. Oh, crap. What did I click on?
Uh-oh.
What we've all been waiting for this motorcycle to pass. Hold on. All right, good. Especially Jono.
Big Bro Pro is the most disgusting of us all. He wanted to be on the city wheel.
Pro, give me a good, slow, but deadly monster. Mic broke my ass. Come on, Pro.
Okay. Okay, so this one might be a bit cheating, but it still applies. I'm going with the T-800 from the first best Terminator movie. The one that's... Oh, the image is loading. Damn, why did... There. And all of it's stop motion.
Beautiful. Once again,
That looks familiar.
very
And the
necronish.
reason I chose this one specifically...
I think this is
instead
the
of just-
other way around. This is the defining article.
Yeah, the reason I chose this one at the end instead of just your general Terminator, because generally it looks like T-800s move slowly, but in fact, they can run. Because after the shootout at Tech Noir in the first Terminator movie, Arnold runs. He runs.
Oh, he
yeah,
does. In the
T-800s
first
can-
movie?
Yeah, in the
Oh,
first
good
movie.
old Arnold.
What scene is it in? What's he
It's
doing?
directly after the night Tech Noir shoot. It's like it's the scene where
Hello?
Kyle and Sarah are running down the street, and then Arnold is chasing after them.
Okay. We can hear you, see. We can hear
I
you.
can find that clip right now. Wait,
Cool, yeah.
let me just find that clip. Copy image.
Great.
It's at about 4 minutes and 40 seconds.
Awesome. Thanks for the timestamp. Let's check that
and
out
then
real
he
quick.
just starts running. But
And
T-800s don't usually run. They at most try to jog. They can run, but it's like, what's the point, you know?
right. Well, Pro, that's a great second video for Planet of Creatures, entitled
I
"Terminators
don't know what
Can
you're talking
Run."
about.
T-800s can, in fact, run. And you just post a clip.
I don't know what you're talking about.
How's the business going?
Planet of Creatures? I don't know what that is. Huh? Who? What's a creature
You've done
king?
so
I
much
don't know
work
what
on that
is.
skeleton too. It was great, just holding the YouTube subscribe sign and all that.
I have no idea what. Actually, actually it was actually very easy. I took like a stock image of a skeleton holding a sign,
Right.
and then I just like lazily put the monster
head.
skeleton skull on top of it, and then I just edited the text onto it.
Yeah. Yeah, you were just lucky to find the skeleton shaped in or positioned and all that.
Surprise! There's so many awesome
That's cool.
skeleton images.
So as you guys can see here, he actually is running, and that really adds to the first Terminator was much more horror than the second and all
That's
the
why
others.
it's the best.
But you can certainly see him run here, which makes it a lot scarier. That's really cool because that's an 80s film, and Jason has been coming out many more times since the 80s, and he never runs. But he's running. The Terminator's totally running here, and it definitely adds to the fear factor and everything. That is
Indeed.
cool to see. Why would...
And the reason he doesn't run in the reason he doesn't run in like the rest of the movie is essentially because he finds cars. He drives a car. He finds
Right.
cars. He's chasing them in cars and stuff and closed environments.
Okay, good justification there. I believe in the latest... Did you see the latest Terminator, bro?
I have not. I'm waiting for it to come on DVD or in box office so I can watch it.
Okay. I believe in that one he does do some fast motions. I don't remember exactly, but I remember something like that. He just seemed more versatile in motions there, which is more realistic. But now we have to justify why the Terminators without the flesh, synthetic flesh, move slowly. Why does he move slow when he stands up? Why does he have to look scary there? Justify it all, pro.
I mean, frankly, it's because the T-800 is just like an absolute powerhouse of a unit. We're talking about in-universe. They're pretty resistant to basically all forms of small caliber, and actually just most caliber weaponry. You know, like normal bullets just don't phase them. You have to use either strong explosives, like something like a pipe bomb, or just large explosions, or phased plasma weaponry
Sure.
to actually take down a T-800. So that's another reason. And I think another reason is just that in the future, Skynet has multiple units prioritized for certain things, you know. If you want to kill a fast-moving target, you've got hunter killers, you know, the flying ones. The T-800s are just basic ground forces. They don't have to run, you know. They just move in like a... Because they're so tough, it's like a small oncoming wave. You can't stop it, essentially. Only a matter of time until they get to you.
And it makes sense they could jog. It doesn't make sense they could run like a T-1000, but it makes sense that they could jog at a decent pace. Although, yeah,
I mean,
too fast.
They are strong. I mean, to be fair, they are very strong. So I can see them running.
And it would seem that it would take up way too much energy to move that fast too. Hence, they would be more
Most
productive,
likely.
probably. Yeah, moving slow. And same with Necrons. Then we can justify that as well. So, Pro, in your opinion, which is the superior one, Necrons or Terminators?
I mean, depends. Are we talking about like just based on feats? Then of course Necrons.
Oh,
if we're coming down
you're
from
being realistic.
narratives,
Gotcha.
yeah. If we're coming down from narrative wise, I can't say because I've watched a lot of Terminator, know a lot about Terminator, but I do not know a lot about Necrons. I should get into Necron lore more though.
See, how much do you like Terminators?
Oh, really? I love Terminator. Oh, I love Terminator so much. The
Especially
first
the
Terminator movie is so good. Ever since I watched it when I was
Terminator
5, I love it so much.
Genesis, you love them.
Huh? No.
John's trolling.
The first two.
Good job.
The first two are good. Okay, and maybe Salvation. I have like a small soft spot for Salvation. Genesis is just bad. 3 is also very bad, and I don't see myself liking Dark Fate that much either, to be honest.
Yeah. I like this part here that I'm playing.
Because Dark Fate is just more of the same issues I have with something like
Gets up.
Genesis or Terminator 3.
Look at that slam.
It
That's
just
it.
it just deviates more from the original just horror roots and more into the
Good
superhero
times.
Marvel Ultron crap.
Love how he slams that guy. He slammed him so softly into the police car, but he was out. But Necron Boy, see, how do you like Terminators?
Well, Terminators are an interesting monster of sorts. It's some machine sent from the future to kill everything, to kill a specific person and or list of people, which is interesting to say the least. I mean, the most amazing thing about the Terminator is not the fact that it is so unstoppable and it is supposed to blend in. The most amazing thing is more so the fact that it's what's it called? It's a machine. Back then, it was the first time we saw a machine with the complexity of a living creature. I dare say that. I mean, Wall-E wasn't made yet.
There you have it, folks. For all
Yeah.
you people that are newer here, that was a moment with C. That's why you heard the harp. So that's what was going on.
Terminator really works well on the 80s theme. It just works with it. I don't really see, like, a lot of people say that they want to see a Terminator reboot, and I'm like, if so, then just please keep it in the 80s. If so, if you need to make a reboot, because I just don't see a Terminator reboot happening in the present. I just
Right.
don't. It works with the 80s, you know.
It really doesn't need a reboot. It just needs the damn war.
Yeah, war movie. Give me like the proper war movie.
I mean, Terminator 2 really did conclude it. They destroyed the chip. They prevented it.
We could use like a prequel. You know,
But
a
yeah,
prequel.
I
A
always
prequel is
did
like
want to
how-
see.
how John wins the war.
Yeah.
How John and the Resistance win the war.
Or do an alternative universe ending. You know, let's say they didn't. Just, yeah, why don't they do that? Why do they always have to do a prequel, sequel? Why don't they do, well, what if it ended like this kind of sequel? Because in this
yeah, what ifs?
movie, it would make sense. You can do that here because of the escape and then multi-universes or whatever. That would be cool. It would be still respectable. It wouldn't take away from the originals. And, you know, it's like that alternative ending of 2, which is kind of weird, you know, where Sarah Connor's old and she has a kid. And, well, that was different. That was the same ending. It was just showing her in the future. Instead, they chose... what's his name chose to just show, I think James Cameron made that decision to just show the street, you know, in the dark and her talking the narrative, which I think was perfect. It was brilliant. Simple, but sometimes simplicity is the best, and that proved it.
Mm-hmm.
But they could go the alternative way and say, yeah, like Bro said, a what if. That would be new in the movie genre, and I'm sure a lot of movies, if that would be a success, I bet you a lot of movies would go with that theme and start doing what ifs. You know, it ended that way with their movie franchises. That could be a big new thing that hits. That'll probably come in time, I'm sure.
I mean,
as everything does.
I mean, Marvel is going to release a What If TV series, so hopefully that sparks up some interest.
Interesting. An actual TV series. That sounds expensive in licensing. But yeah, it's a TV series. That'll pay for itself. A YouTuber can do that for sure, but it's not going to be produced that high, right? So that should be interesting.
As long as they just keep this the simplicity, to be honest, because I think that's one of the reasons why these movies work so well. It's just the concepts are just so simplistic, and then it's just everything else that's just so fleshed out.
Mm-hmm.
And it's another issue I have with like a lot of sequels, especially when it comes to Predator. They just trying to do just bigger and bigger and bigger. And each director shows up and they want to do their own take on the franchise instead of just adding like something that could just really fit in with the rest. You know?
They want to represent themselves more than represent themselves as being fans, and you really should represent yourself as both. Being this director that can do something else, but also as a fan that's true to the lore and everything, and that would make the true fans happy. But they always do one, but not the other.
I mean, look at Terminator Resistance. The game, so the game from a subjective standpoint is pretty bad. It's just pretty bad. It's if you might highball it a bit.
Guys, I think I gotta go. That's getting late.
No worries, C.
Z.
Have a good one. Thanks for being here.
All right, have a good time.
We'll do the vote soon.
What is our week's topic?
Oh yeah, we gotta do. So let me just finish. The game is just mediocre. If you highball, it's mediocre. But the reason why people love it so much and why it sits on like a very positive on Steam is because it's just a really good addition and representation of the Terminator franchise, like the IP.
Right. Yeah, and that says a lot already, right?
Bro,
Yeah. Yes.
is it canon?
So it's like a halfway thing, like I was saying.
I don't think it's canon. Maybe? I don't know. Terminator canon's very weird. It's
Yeah. It's hard to say what's canon these days. It's down to opinion, really. It's down to preferences.
It's more like people don't give like the studios, they just don't give enough of a crap about Terminator to worry about the lore.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, it's 2020 and they're still making Terminator movies. I mean, yeah, originality about to die out.
I mean, I'll be.
Who loves Godzilla, who's been around for 60 years. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, the MonsterVerse isn't special at all. Let's be honest. The MonsterVerse is kind of.
Right.
We all watch it for the spectacle. We don't watch it for the quality.
Yep.
That's fair.
Well, you know, I still accept quality. If I want to watch something shitty without caring for the quality, I'd better get watching some Sharknado, which I like. Really like Sharknado because for the first, Asylum realized they weren't getting far with doing bad movies.
I need to check that one out.
Then they understood that if they started doing bad movies on purpose, that will get some success, and that's it did. I mean, if you watch the first Sharknado, it's pretty much serious. It's the average Asylum movie. Then as the movies go on, you see that they're taking it less seriously, especially the how to say they have fun doing it.
Yeah.
Well, gentlemen, I think we should move on to the choosing next week's topic.
Right on. And yes, we predicted
I'm
here.
not going to
I think that by
propose
2040, we're going to hit a cycle in the movie theaters where we're going to have a bunch of what if alternative universe sequels. Jono, what did you ask?
John Hall Monsters.
No,
Oh.
I won't propose that because I won't be here next Saturday, most likely.
Oh, okay. Oh,
So, yeah.
Arthur,
Next week.
now's the time to get back at John. Make next week's one John Hall Monsters.
right. All right, guys. Secretly, it's going to be John Ham Monsters next week, but we're going to vote for something else just to make John confused.
I'd like to suggest as a topic, Monster Slayers.
Didn't we have something like that?
Monster hunting organizations, but Slayers could work.
Right, we had organizations. Okay.
Individuals that are specialized in hunting down and killing monsters.
Ooh, that's going to hurt Jono too if that one wins.
Arthur, am I a good monster slayer?
I don't know, Jono. I have to see you in action. Far too often you're a little moody, you're crying, you're sick. I need to see you at your top if you want that answer.
Griffo is the real best Slayer here.
Oh, yeah, damn. Everyone's against me again. It's time to start banning random people.
Raincrawler said,
betrayed me.
what about George
Everybody
Romero's
betrayed me.
zombies? They walk really slow. I think for our topic today, they are 75, maybe 60% there, Raincrawler, because they are slow for sure. They are deadly, but they're not that deadly. When we're talking deadly today, we're talking pretty damn deadly. So if those zombies walk really slow, but they kill you by touching you, level deadly, then I'd say they're more relevant. But certainly they can get a shout out today. Louis said, don't know why people complained about Terminator Dark Fate. It was a deleted timeline anyway, just like Terminator Genesis. Right, it's a different story. I personally, I was telling you guys here, I enjoyed it more than anything after 2.
Continue, Arthur.
Go ahead, bro.
I mean, I do kind of have an issue with it because, at the end of the day, it wasn't good enough, and well, it bombed, and will most likely result in the Terminator franchise being put on ice.
Yeah, I don't know how they can take.
What happened to the Terminator franchise right now is to just let it die.
Yeah,
So
just
the-
leave
I
it
can-
alone.
they
Make
can't
video
ruin it
games.
when you know that.
Yeah, video games.
Video
in a
games and
series. A series
comics.
could work.
Yeah. Video
Yeah.
games and comics.
A
That's
series.
the best way.
Anything besides movies, essentially.
Yeah.
I kinda
Fan-made
actually want the
movies
same
are
with Star
fine.
Wars. Just stop the movies and continue
Yeah.
with everything else.
And that's big
Yeah.
production movies. Fan-made movies,
not,
I'd say.
not maybe stuff movies, but stuff against the Skywalker, because Rogue One is probably the best Star Wars at all.
I don't know. I just don't know how they can screw up something when they have the original actors, the original director involved, and it can still not be, as that good. And it's not because
I
of
have an answer.
perception. It, like, really, when you're scoring a movie, it's just not as good as the first two. I don't know how they can mess it up that much. Even with new memes and crap, I don't know. It's the mentality in Hollywood and producing films and crap.
Arthur, it's because Disney.
Not
There
like
you go.
Disney.
Everything's because of Disney.
Wait,
I'll just say that
wait,
3.
Don't say that on. Don't say that on air.
I'll just say that Dark Fate got one thing.
Bob Iger's coming from us. Bob Iger's coming for us.
I'll say that Dark Fate got one thing pretty decent, which is really hard in the Terminator franchise and what they keep trying to do, and that's humor, which we don't need humor in a Terminator movie at
Yeah.
all. But I'll say that Dark Fate actually did it okay. They did it pretty good. Because it wasn't in your face. It was subtle, but it was like so ridiculous.
Okay.
And I think they realized how ridiculous it was. And it really made it kind of funner. After that point, I was kind of just enjoying the movie for what it is and not thinking, okay, I got to compare it to something else. I was just like, okay, let's just enjoy the ride. Screw it. And then it was all right, Anyway, share your thoughts, Louis. I'd like to read them. Sadly, it's more about money than what the fans want anymore. Yeah, it's always... I wouldn't say it's always been that in Hollywood, but it's certainly since the 2000s, since this millennium, for sure. Zombies especially, Romero's especially. Okay, so we got one vote up. Thank you to Chris for that so far, and that's Monster Slayers. Ooh, I'll do something...
Since
Damn
Louis mentioned it, why don't we go with favorite zombie? As we already.
I think we already did something like that. Zombie
Because
types.
zombies are one of the least terrifying.
You said, Jono, what kind of zombies? Just cool zombies?
No,
Favorite
the
zombies.
favorite. But it seems we already did that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we did zombie types or zombie kinds.
We did the undead or something. I was thinking something female monsters, but I know we did something like that. We did do hot monsters. See, they knew in Terminator 2 and 1 what to cut out. If they wouldn't have cut that out, it would be a different movie. They cut it out. They knew what to cut out. Terminator 3, they didn't know what the hell to cut out. Terminator 4 is fine, and it's its own kind of movie.
We should have
Genesis.
cut the whole of Terminator 3.
Yeah, right. That's a whole cut, except for when he's carrying the
Coffin.
the
Yeah,
coffin
that
and
was
shooting the
pretty
gun. That's pretty cool. Could definitely
What about
use that.
favorite shark movie?
Favorite? Okay, shark or shark monsters.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of something. I
Shark
had like a really good
monsters.
one, and like good idea this week, but then I forgot, and I hate myself for it now.
I mean, I think I will have to name basically.
Favorite sentient.
So essentially, okay, all right, okay.
Favorite what? Sentient?
I was asked something.
Sentient undead. Like types of undead that are still aware. They're not just mindless killing machines.
I'd say the Fallout ghouls, but they're not undead.
They're damn well near it.
Okay, Chris, question.
Yes, what question?
I thought you had a
Lost-
question.
I lost the topic that we were having. Someone please remind me.
Oh, we're just talking about ideas to vote for the next Monstercast.
Yeah, I'm still going with Monster Slayers.
Okay. I think we got enough, guys. I'm going to post them now. Please vote when they're
Damn.
posted.
For real though, I had like a really good idea like earlier this week, and now I forgot it, and I really hate myself now for it.
Don't worry, bro. You can hate yourself even forgetting this type of things.
What, Pro?
Be like me.
So you say you forgot it, or what did you say?
Yeah, I forgot it.
Yeah, it happens.
And I was like, wow, this is actually a really good one. And then I forgot it, and I'm
It's because our monster casts are too long. By the time we get to this point, you're brain dead.
All right.
Alrighty, guys.
I'm brain dead by the beginning.
We got monster slayers. We have terrifying female monsters. Shark monsters.
All females are terrifying.
Sentient undead. And albino monsters. Louis votes albino monsters. Rita, Raincrawler. And whoever else watching on YouTube. What do you vote for? Please let me know now. Still got 8 watchers. Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you, guys. We're starting in 2020 beautifully. And everybody else, let's see. Slayers for Raincrawler. Thank you, Raincrawler. Mark Peters, if you're still there,
Corrective
make a vote.
monsters. You mean like smog?
Silence. Bago, who do you vote for? Or which one? We already did, like, sexy monsters
let's
once,
see.
I think. Didn't we? Pro, do you remember that, Chris?
Which one?
That we did something about, like, attractive or hot monsters. I think we did that.
Yes, we did do that. It was I think
Why?
our
Monsters,
5th or 7th.
waifus.
Yes,
No.
waifus.
5th or 7th
Why?
And
monster
husbandos. Still, husbandos sounds like a badass Mexican gang or mafia. The husbandos. They're all just married guys wreaking havoc at midnight.
Getting angry when their favorite football team loses.
Right. I think we did that on Valentine's Day, maybe. Crap, my Wi-Fi is glitching. Okay, so we got 2
Hey, we
for
can do that
Slayers.
this-
Bog, what do you vote?
Well, I gotta try and put one in for sentient undead since I see.
Okay. Okay, voting for your own. Sid, what do you vote for? Dio, if you're still awake, what do you vote for? I'm afraid Dio might be gone. Let's see if he's still with us.
Sentient undead.
Yes, he's German. Okay, continuing. Just kidding. Phew. Weed. Thank you, Dio. Did you vote, Dio? Undead, said Sid. Cool. Thank you, Dio, for being alive. Dio, what do you vote for? Sid says undead. So 2 for undead. Looks like 2 for that and 1 for albino. Who's next? Jono, what do you vote for?
Shark monsters, but I want to be there next week. So
Aw. But that's cool. Jono actually voted for something, not
I'll see.
Jono.
We'll see if I manage to, because I am organizing some Indian cooking for a few friends. But if it ends up like the last time, I am left alone again, I am going to join you.
I just had an idea. I'm checking if April 1st. April Fool's Day is not on a Saturday,
What show?
but we can do an April Fool's Day show on John Hamm Monsters.
Yes, finally.
Now, I'm not sure if you guys are aware, but YouTube is cracking down on trolling videos. And I'm pretty sure if we made a whole monster cast about John Hamm, he would see it and he would complain to YouTube and we'd probably have it removed, which isn't a big deal, but that would be cool to happen. So let's shoot for that.
Okay, Arthur, that's why I propose we go with the idea that you interview that you interview yourself on the Kadawa show.
No, we must
Arthur
proceed
Kadawa
with.
interviews
No, we must.
Monster Master Arthur.
No, we must proceed.
Yeah,
with John
Monster Master Arthur against Kadawa Show Arthur. Who would win in a fight? That's the question. Long hair or short hair? I
I'd
was
go with
younger
short
and
hair.
fitter, but
Less pulling.
now I'm grittier and harder, so that wasn't
You
the
can
best
tie
word
a
choice.
weapon to long hair and swing your head around violently. Obviously,
right.
no?
There you go.
That's some mafia shit right there.
Us bandos are on my side. I pronounce it John Juan. Okay, Monster Slayer. Who else needs to vote? John said Shark. Chris, what do you vote for? You said
Monster Slayers.
twice already. Yeah, Monster Slayer. Bro, you vote for...
Screw it. Let's go with Monster Slayer.
It looks like that's the winner. I'm gonna say Shark Monsters.
Yeah.
Just to give that one could be fun. I just like that concept. Sharks are amazing creatures. So, unfortunately, another type of Monster Slayer does win, which is... okay, that was bad. That was a segue fail. Anyway, Monster Slayer wins.
Monster Hunters are...
What this has to be, it doesn't matter if it's sci-fi or fantasy. It has to be one individual. This individual may be a monster himself, but let me ask you guys, can this individual be a human?
Yes.
We go out. One vote for yes. What do the rest of you say?
We all know.
Wait. Is it he can be human? Oh, wait. I don't understand. Is it that he has to be a human, or can he be a monster?
No, the question is, so the Monster Slayer of your choice, can he be a human and or monster?
Okay. I mean, yeah, sure. Why not?
Basically, on the two extremes of human to monster, in terms of monster slaying, I'm thinking Van Helsing, and on the opposite end, you have Help.
Okay.
For that type of stuff.
Yeah. So he can be human. Okay. We don't talk about humans enough here, and that is quite the monster. Albino, that would be great. Crap. Wi-Fi, 9 kinds. Yes. Okay. So this Monster Slayer can be human. They can be a monster as well, of sorts. And what qualifies them to be a Monster Slayer, I would say they have to have slayed a good amount of monsters. Okay?
They'd have to be able to make like a profession or a skill out of it.
Yeah. So 3 or 4... No. There's some cool ones out there. We'll probably talk about this when we talk about this topic. Try to not to be predictable. Because there are ones that, all video games pretty much feature one or something or many. So let's not try to be too predictable as usual. Try to find something out there that's pretty awesome and a lot of people don't know about. And we'll probably mention the big ones, by the way, anyway, because we always do. So something like Chris mentioned, from Doom, Doomslayer guy.
I will be talking about the Doomslayer, yes. Oh shit, spoilers.
Mm-hmm. So try to find something for the main topic that is lesser known. Just for
I'll find something truly obscure.
Beautiful. Obscure is the word to go with. That's the word of the day. So obscure. Scream.
Well, it's a good thing that the Monstercast isn't...
Cool, Louis. Okay, so I guess we're done. Do you guys have any favorite slow but deadly monsters mentioned today that weren't your own?
The snail.
That's a fan favorite. The false hydra is a pretty cool concept. It's pretty creepy. Oh yes, the elephant from Dio. I think that might be... The angels are awesome, but that got mentioned before. Sloth was cool. The rest are kind of known. I'm going to give it to Dio from my end for the giant walking elephant with no eyes. I think that's an awesome concept. Thank you, Dio, for that. Here are the Wiggles, by the way, again, since you guys have a hard time seeing from there. Okay. I'm suffering because I'm Jono. Hold on. How are you feeling, Jono? You feeling better after all this? Hoopla? Those are the Wiggles. The cool Wiggles.
But you're still treating me like shit. Like,
Come on, Jono. Nobody's treating you like shit. We're all treating you like a slayer that you truly are.
Before I pop off, I will, on behalf of Victor, say his last words being, in terms of streams, do not fear the unknown. Seek it out, study it, understand it. To which I follow up with, fear the unknown. Shoot it in the face with a shotgun. And with that, I bid you all a good night.
Beautiful. And that cued the song. You're officially drawing this to the close. That was where Chris's last words. Bago, any last words?
So,
I heard something.
Dragons, yes.
Nice. Jono, any last words?
farewell to everybody. Go listen to Agalo. Agalo Cafe.
Aw. Good old Jono. Pro, any last words?
Obscurity.
Obscurity. And you guys over on YouTube and you guys in text here on Discord, thank you guys and thank you all in voice very much. We had another wonderful Monstercast about slow but deadly monsters. Next week's Monstercast 64, believe it or not, is going to be about monster slayers, be they human or monsters themselves. Monster slayers. Experts. Top guns at slaying monsters. Goodbye, guys. Farewell. Take care.
I've got two of them. Don't forget to hit.
Damn, that's like Omega level heresy right there.
See you, Rita, Louie, Raincrawler. Thanks for joining in.